can all hear me okay, right?
Yes.
Everything's good? Great. You know, it's been a passion to kind of serve in this capacity, and we've grown it quite a bit. There goes my phone in the background, sorry. But we've grown it quite a bit as the Bureau has expanded its role. You know, so we started out primarily serving a portion of Madison County, and then joined forces with Edwardsville and really the rest of the county, Calhounsville, Glen Carbon, a few years ago. So some of you in Rotary, I think I saw Tim Har was on, you know, had a lot to do with connecting us and bringing us in to bring a countywide focus on tourism. So it's been a pleasure to kind of evolve that way. So I'm going to share my screen if I can figure all this out, and hopefully it goes well, and show you just a little bit of things, you know, that we've been working on. COVID has been, you know, just devastating to all of us, and of course with the intense things going on in our nation right now, you know, it is impacting tourism quite a bit. We've seen tourism was really the first piece hit, and it kind of just continues to be hit as we evolve through the phases of recovery. So I'm gonna try. So you can see my screen all right? Pretty good, you know. So you know, we are partners with Edwardsville in doing a lot of things. We do a lot of great promotions with the City of Edwardsville. We have an agreement with them to help promote a lot of the attractions and special events. We were key players in the Criterium Festival the past couple of years. I know Brian's a big cheerleader of ours as well, in terms of what we did to help you guys with social media and some of the media exposure we did for that event. But getting into, you know, what we do, it is really taking that traveler from Route 66 out of Springfield to St. Louis and having them kind of go down the path with us through the counties. And then out of Quincy on the western edge, really coming into Calhoun County, we take them on the Great River Road. So we're the only place in the world where the Great River Road and Route 66 intersect. Those are two great iconic travel roads for leisure destination, and hence the name Rivers and Routes, you know, kind of came together. It also fits well with our economic development strategy, the logistical centers, the position of our place. You know, we work with the Port District on some different initiatives to really kind of tie this region in with a economic development and tourism brand. So of course it's important, these numbers are going to tank this year, but these were the last official numbers for visitor expenditures, and I just looked in Madison County. So, you know, $399 million was spent in 2018 from people coming into our county and staying the night at one of our hotels, and then enjoying our restaurants, buying gas, and all those sorts of things. About 3,200, almost 3,300 employees are full-time in the industry at our hotels, at our restaurants, and so forth. And then our tax receipts I can't see, but I'm sure they're really good because they're off. I got to figure out how to work my Zoom. Yeah, so the tax receipts are good. I'm going to minimize this, and that'll help. Okay, that's better. I don't have to see myself then. $7.8 million in local tax receipts going back to our communities. And again, I mentioned Tim kind of working with us in his city capacity to bring this together. And, you know, we worked out basically board bylaws and different things to get all of our communities into supporting the regional tourism effort. And Edwardsville did so, and actually appoints a board member, Christy Heighton. Many of you might know her. She serves on our board as our treasurer right now and secretary. And in addition, we've got board members from the industry sectors. So we've got Kathy Luttrell from Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Edwardsville, Tom Garino with Bella Milano, representing the restaurants, and then Kim Durr with SIUE helping us as well. And then, as mentioned, I'm from Edwardsville, and one of our other full-time staff are also from Edwardsville. But we started off 2020 really, really strong. We were just an amazing event at SIUE in January, with more than 250 people coming together in the Meridian Ballroom and really cheerleading and championing tourism. So a lot of good things started strong in January. We launched a new regional website at riversandroutes.com. We have niche sites now for the sports markets, for everything at Plummer Park and everything at the school districts, and the meetings for the different convention centers we represent or meeting facilities. The group market, the motor coach tour, you know, all of those things now have their own individual niche sites where we're communicating with those people in those trade industries. And then we do have one starting for weddings as well. So we did launch enjoyedwardsville.com somewhere in late February, just kind of a soft launch because we're, you know, working tweaks out, but that is active now. And then we were working with Mayor Patton and his administration on the edwardsvillefoodie.com concept. So you've seen the banners through downtown now. There are t-shirts you can buy at certain places now, and tote bags, and more to come on that as we kind of get out of COVID and return to a little more normal culinary scene in our city. And then we did a special local legends, really mini documentary. I'm going to share that with you today. That has a lot of Rotarians in it, as well as it was just a great piece. So I'm going to whip through most of this, and I want to talk to you guys more than anything. I like the interaction more than the presenting, but we had a great comprehensive visitor guide, 116 pages. Hopefully you've seen it through town. I'd give you copies today, but we're doing this virtual. It is on riversandroutes.com. You can download it as a PDF or go through an interactive guide if you want. So that's all there. These are just screenshots from the new Edwardsville, enjoyedwardsville.com website. But we have special feature stories in there. We did a Celebrate 2020 in the Year of the Woman. So we focused on some woman-owned businesses early on in Chavez. Lisa, I think it's pronounced Shabara, has a nice story in there on her. We did a walking tour that we're highlighting right now so people can get out and kind of go see different things. And of course, the 66 attractions. But what this really does, it pulls all the Edwardsville listings into one microsite, yet it's still connected to the regional site. So you can really connect to Collinsville, Alton, and some neighboring cities as well. But it does provide direct promotion for the city itself. And then online hotel booking engines are available too. So you can kind of sort through what's available and real-time booking on there. And then, it culminates all of our different restaurants and all of our different shops and all the different great things that we see and do. And then COVID-19 hit. Shelter in place began somewhere around March 18th for us, and we all started working remotely. Retail, everything just plummeted. Hotel, the state actually stopped. Part of our funding comes from the state, and they stopped promotional funding April 1, except for essential services. So we could keep what little bit of payroll they do support for all of us. We could keep pieces of that together, but all ads, all brochures, everything else had to stop. And then the local market took hits as well. Essentially, we terminated 5 positions with our bureau, 2 full-time and 3 part-time. And we have 6 remaining staff here that are working, but we're all still taking 1 furlough day per week. So good times in the tourism industry, but we know that we'll get through this and be stronger at the end. In fact, just last week, we did open the visitor center again 7 days a week. So we are interacting with people. The doors are locked, but the phones are being answered 7 days a week for people who have questions about different attractions or if things are open. The biggest, most popular right now is the Grafton Ferry running? And the answer is it did for a day, and then the floodwaters hit and it stopped. So now there's a little bit of flooding going on, but it's going back down quickly. So what we did also was get moving just as fast as we could, and going through all the tough times. We had to become a go-to resource for our hotel market, our attractions, our retail and restaurant sectors. We still hold weekly Zoom attraction calls and event calls and hotel calls with our industry. Those are kind of phasing out. Our Bureau Buzz is a weekly e-newsletter. It goes out to 800 partners in the region with positive reinforcing messages. And we were supposed to hold a big tourism rally as part of National Travel and Tourism Week in May. In fact, on May, I think it was Cinco de Mayo, it was supposed to be on. And we couldn't hold it. So instead, we did a nice little video. I'm going to play just a clip from it. I'm going to skip over my part.
Welcome to National Travel and Tourism Week.
As quickly as I can, and just show you one of our Edwardsville partners here. Jasmine from Jen Hotels is a great asset for us, and we work with her feeding things. But here's her message.
Hello, my name is Jasmine Kumar, Regional Director of Sales for General Hotels Corporation. We have 3 wonderful hotels in Edwardsville, to include the Town Place Suites by Marriott, the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, and the Comfort Inn, along with our Holiday Inn Express in Troy, Illinois. Our hotels are still open for business, and we know that the spirit of travel will help us to fill our 346 hotel rooms, and we can't wait to welcome you to the area when you are ready. We also have many great attractions, restaurants, parks, shopping, and so much more to offer travelers. The spirit of travel and tourism is the key to bringing our economy back, and we can't wait to see you.
So like I mentioned, we really do work in the trenches with our partners, and we work daily with our hotel staff to try to bring in groups. And right now we're rescheduling and rebooking. I'll get to that in just a moment. But what we did in the meantime, when we were really hunkered down and sheltered in place, was we worked with our attractions and our hotels, and we put together 20 different video vignettes with inspiring messages that we released on social media This one's from the 1820 Benjamin Stevenson House, and without any money behind it at all, reached over 2,000 people and had 450 views in just 24 hours. So I'll play that message from Colonel Stevenson himself, and you can all enjoy that. But we did one also for the art, Edwardsville Arts Center, as well as Shabbos was another one we did from Edwardsville.
Good afternoon. I'm Colonel Stevenson, here at the Stevenson House in downtown Edwardsville, Illinois. This house is over 200 years old, and in that 200 years, it has weathered many, many storms, not unlike the one we are currently going through. However, we will get through it, and the house will reopen shortly to welcome visitors again. And future generations will look upon this house and our story and study it in their history. Stay strong, stay safe, and stay 6 feet apart. We are all in Illinois, great rivers and roots strong.
So these were very popular and helped us get through the time when we didn't even leave our homes for grocery stores even, or things like that. And they were very popular, great things to do. We also launched our local legends. We had some previews at our our summit in January. And then we did a full release really of our short and long versions of them. We tracked restaurants. Our biggest day on the website was like day number 2 of the shut-in, when we had all the different restaurants that were offering curbside carryout, dine-in, and we had them for each community. It was a massive undertaking, but so popular and able to see, what people were doing. And then when the online shopping became a trend, we were on top of that as well. All of those things are fading now as we get back to a little sense of sorry. And then we kept our projects on track. So even though the state cut their funding, we continued to deliver on certain things. We have a sports playbook that is tying together all the new assets of Plummer Park and the sports complex at the high school and SIUE. That was printed and ready to meet with tournament delegate organizers. We hope to get back in the swing of doing some virtual meetings with some of those decision makers. We also do a spring guide that featured You're the Woman Again. We have a new group tour guide that goes through all the group-friendly attractions and places to eat and places to stay. So if you're bringing a group on a bus or a group of 12 or more, these are the places that can accommodate you, and we can put you in touch with how they do it. We do the tear-off map. We printed an additional 10,000 of those because we're out, and they kind of get people through the main thoroughfares, the main attractions in Edwardsville and Glen Carbon. And then, believe it or not, the demand didn't totally drop off. We got more than 2,500 requests for visitor guides during COVID, and we mailed those out. I myself had to go to the post office in big bundles and drop those off one day. So it was a massive undertaking. But the message is the demand hasn't stopped, and that we are still seeing stuff, and we know people will return when the time is right. And they're starting to return now. And then, of course, we continue to work on our websites. This is just something that we got from Missy at the Edwardsville Arts Fair. This is more testimonial. This is, believe it or not, we're going to be meeting with the city of Edwardsville next week on renewing our contract. So this is more for them, but Edwardsville Art Fair loves us, and so does Missy. I know Brian also sent us one for the Criterion Festival. We're going to be integrating that into the slide as well. And then Dave Leib from the Edwardsville Futures Tournament, we helped them a lot with design of posters and tickets and media relations, navigating the hotel scene and helping him get the room bookings and room blocks that he needed for those students coming in. So these are all folks that we work with on a regular basis within the city of Edwardsville. And then there's the Wildly Theater, so we work with them. I do want to share with you, we were proud to be able to get Joan in as part of this as well. So hopefully this works. I have to stop this screen share and zoom over to another one. So let me see if I can do that. So bear with me just a second. And I'm going to try to share this screen. So do you see that screen now that just has rivers at the top? Hopefully you're all still there too, and I'm not just talking to myself. But here it goes.
My father was a printer in downtown Edwardsville, and my mother worked our stores that we had in downtown Edwardsville. At the time, I was very, very little. But my father's true love was the Wildie.
This was an extremely small town, and the likes of like Al Jolson that played here and W.C. Fields, that's pretty amazing. I used to come here as a small kid, like most everybody in Edwardsville, because this was the entertainment place, and I would say it was past its prime at that point.
My first experience with the Wildie Theater was walking down Main Street. There was talk about needing more parking downtown, and that old abandoned theater at the corner of Main Street and College would be a great place for a parking lot. We looked in the windows, we put our eyes up to the dirty glass and said it just didn't seem right that it would be torn down.
When Rich and I and others saw a chance to come back, we went out and we went after that chance, and we knew we could bring it back. We were sure we could bring it back, and we did bring it back.
So this was a great project with us, and we have actually a 10-minute video of this as well. I'm not going to share today, but it is on our website. I can send a link out to our Vimeo as well if you want to watch the full documentary. We did a lot of promotion on it on Facebook, and I think, forget the numbers, but over about 34,000 views at the time. People loved it. They're dying to come back to the Wildie. This story was one of 4 that we did. We did one on the Wildie, we did one on the ketchup bottle, we did one on the Ariston Cafe up in Litchfield, which is the longest continuously running restaurant on Route 66. And we also did one on the creation of the Great River Road from Alton to Grafton. So some great assets that we have in this region are rightfully, our local legends. So we really have used that as a campaign this year. So I'm gonna stop this share and go back to my other screen share, and hopefully we're there. And this is back there. So we go forward here to the next slide. Nope. There it goes. Yeah. So social media also, I mentioned the Wildie Theater post. That post itself reached 32,775 folks. We saw a lot of views on Facebook. I know that Scott sent it out on his own as well, and did a lot of connections with the community. So it's just a really good campaign. And then we did some walking tours, Small Town Charm in downtown Edwardsville, Take a Stroll on Main Street, different things people could do on different social media. So social media has been a big thing for us the past few weeks. I did mention our sales, and we're losing business, left and right. At the bottom here, you can see we lost about $1.6 million just in the sports arena this summer. We're realizing it right now. Those were dollars that would have been spent in our communities that are not being spent here because of COVID. So our sports, plan was so great. These folks, the Game Day USA, the USSSA, the JP Sports, and the Play It Forward in Game 7 baseball, these were all folks that we worked with to bring these tournaments to Edwardsville and work with the park to do that. So we'd handed them over to the new crew at Park and Rec with Nate and his folks, and they were ready to implement. And these were dollars that unfortunately right now are being lost, but hopefully they're rebooking. So we know they'll come back. It's just when Illinois is ready to kind of work through those COVID. And again, the Right Illinois project was going to be a 2-day stay here, and I think a 2-day stay in Godfrey as well. And those are already rebooked for 2021. That was a big bike ride coming through. And then, but the demand again is not gone. So just last week, Allied Tours out of Lincoln, Nebraska, they had attended one of our familiarization tours last year and wanted to book a fall 2021 mystery tour with 2 nights. So they booked 96 rooms at the Holiday Inn Express in Edwardsville last week. Again, not a huge impact, but hey, we'll take every $19,616 we can get these days. And that is, that's happening as October of 2021. So, we're continuing to work and move forward. But as we go through COVID, it's been so depressing. And as we wrap this presentation up, we created a new message for potential visitors with an inspirational message. We know that people want to come back to the drive markets and they want to get out and explore summer. So we created a campaign called Summer Never Closes. This launched over Memorial Day weekend. And then we've already filmed the Edwardsville Summer Never Closes version, but it's still in production. So that'll be coming out in mid-May. So for now, you can just watch the one of inspiration of all of the many great sites of the region. So, inspirational indeed. And we're excited to launch the Edwardsville one again in a couple of weeks. So also in July, we are putting a Rivers, Routes, and Refreshments trail together. So we've got a number of distilleries, craft breweries, wineries now that are in the region. And we're putting together a free mobile guide to local, for people to go on that trail. So be watching for that to come out for folks like Peel and Recess, and then Old Herald and Collinsville, and even Mastermind in Pontoon Beach, and Blue Stem Vodka in Bethalto. Watch for all of those things to come out and connect all of these great tasty makers. So more to come on that. And so where are we right now in our recovery plan? We're still in the very far, I guess that's left if I'm looking at it, vacations and inspiration. Through June 15th, that's where we're focused. That's where the Summer Never Closes kind of campaign comes in. And then the staycations and friends and family are going to come in first. So those guys are coming in now through the 15th. And then the campaigns with the Summer Never Closes in Edwardsville will launch June 15th through June 30th. Again, hitting those a little bit further out, Central Illinois, Missouri, St. Louis, and Southern Illinois markets to come stay the night with us. And then eventually July 1, hopefully we're in that next phase of recovery with the state, and we'll really start hitting the Chicago, Nashville, Indianapolis, Kansas City markets. But here's some positive news. So last week, Longwoods International is one of the major leading travel industry research firms, and they've been monitoring folks weekly as we go through COVID. But as of May 27th, 50% of Americans plan to travel for leisure purposes by July 4th. So we know that demand is coming back. And these were folks that indicated they want to stay in a hotel, a guest house, or a lodging property. So that is a very positive number for us, and we're perfectly positioned. And that is within the 200-mile radius that they're comfortable going out. So they're not going to leave Chicago and go to New York or go to Miami. They're going to leave Chicago and come see us. So that's kind of hopefully what we do over the next few weeks. So now more than ever, we got to work together. Travel does matter, very vital to Edwardsville. Tourism will be the way to recovery for us, and we certainly hope all of us can stay in this together, because we're all hurting, and I think we look forward to the day where we can see this finish line and the criterium again in 2021. So that's all I have. Happy to have questions or comments, anything else.
Is the Facebook page the best way for us to be updated on these various events?
Yeah, yes, or the website. So yeah, Facebook is at Rivers and Routes. So you can just do Facebook at Rivers and Routes, I think. Or you can go to our website, riversandroutes.com, click on the Facebook page, and you'll find it there.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a long time before people are interested in traveling to big cities again. Do you think there's some ways of leveraging that to pick up some of the traffic that might normally have gone to, you know, the city of St. Louis or Chicago or something?
Absolutely. I mean, the research is perfect for us, you know, so that's where we are presenting that information out to the travelers. That's our plan, you know, to get this out in front of them now and really capitalize on this, because the worst thing we can do is go dark right now and just not say anything. The other markets are all hungry for this business as well, and we'll be leaving money on the table if we kind of turn our backs on the message right now. So this is the prime time to market. This is the time to, like when the stock market falls, that's when you want to buy. When the travel market falls also, you can invest in the inspiration, because many markets, you know, are not going to do that. They may not have the funds to do it. We'll be in a position, hopefully, to keep a little bit alive. But yeah, it's good to see you, Carolyn. It's been a while.
It has.
Yes.
Brett, question, Brett.
Yep.
We have friends overseas in several countries because of our connections with Rotary. And they like to visit the United States. They, in the past, have been looking for big city visits or Disney World and so on. But we have things here that would be of interest to people overseas. For example, we have Springfield, which was the home of Abraham Lincoln. We have Route 66. We have the Arch. So I just wonder if there's any way of reaching those people in other countries.
Yes, you know, so international was a big focus of our organization as well up until now. In fact, today I'm actually supposed to be in Vegas at the largest domestic international show, talking to folks about coming to our region. But we've got itineraries built together with the state that leave Chicago and come right down to Edwardsville, Collinsville, and Alton on 66, stopping one night in Springfield and then staying with us the next night to kind of go on their 66 journey. Or we have that whole loop, which is River Road and 66. So then they come see us and they go back up River Road to hit Quad Cities, Galena, and then back across to the state. So unfortunately, most of that, you know, demand is, well, it's gone right now. So we are kind of pausing international for at least a year. All of the state's international efforts are going to go to domestic to try to get folks to travel even within Illinois. So that's part of, we have a new travel director who just started during this COVID. Okay, her name is Carla Flannery. She's out of Chicago, and she, you know, that's going to be part of her emphasis, is to get people to travel from within Illinois. So we've got a great product. We've got the foundation built to really get folks in here. But international, you know, Route 66 was the #1 requested itinerary in London last year. You know, so people want to do those small town drives. They want the real Americana that we have to offer. And you're right, they want to come over the first time to see maybe Miami or the Californias, LAs, and the big cities, New York. But those second or third time arrivals really want to come see the true American, and we're right on the path of that. So, well said.
Brett, on the Summer Never Closes, there was a lighthouse. Mm-hmm. Where is that?
That's Grafton. So, yeah, it was the red and white striped one. So they built that kind of as a resiliency effort after the flood of '93. It took them about 10 or 20 years to build it. So it wasn't that long ago that it actually became, you know, a tourist attraction. But it's right there at the landing of the Grafton Ferry. Right now, it's a little bit surrounded by water, but it is there. That's where it's from.
You're right. My husband and I are looking now about where we can just take a road trip.
I do have some updates. You know, so we were. Let's see, my wife had a birthday in late May, and my son just had his birthday yesterday. So we decided, let's go to Grafton last weekend and ride the new Sky Tour. So the Sky Tour, if you haven't heard of it, it's open. It opened last weekend. They have enclosed gondolas that are not they're not in operation because of COVID, but these open air ones are, and they're kind of like ski lifts. And they take you from the main street in Grafton up to the bluff line in Aries Resort. So it's connected to Aries Resort. It's the only way that you can get to Aries Winery and Resort right now. So we rode that. It's about a 15-minute ride up the bluffs in the open air. And then you get off and you have a glass of wine, or in my son's case, he had a Coke, and then he kind of ran around while mom and dad finished the wine. But then you ride back down. It was a great experience. It's a $10 round trip experience. And you can buy a season pass now if you want for $29. So if you want to go back every weekend, do that. But those things are opening. Aries Resort actually saw 50% occupancy on Saturday night. So we were happy to hear that. We track all the local hotel occupancy, and just to give you a little update on Edwardsville, they were the least impacted of the county. They are at probably 50, a little bit, 40 to 50% less revenue than what they had been getting at this time. These were big months for them with, graduations and all the sporting events coming in. So this is the peak of our season, really. And it's unfortunate that we're only at 50 to 60% of what we were a year ago. So those things hurt. And I know Edwardsville is hurting as well in terms of looking for how they keep the city employed and how they fund projects like ours. So yeah, I went a little bit off on that tangent, but anyway, you all heard it.
It's all good.
Yes.
Anyone else?
Hey, Brett, it's Brian. Just like to, again, just confirm my support, for your great organization. Good luck with the city next week. I think they would be foolish to not renew. With all your efforts that you've already conducted for us, the Criterium and Edwardsville area and the Art Festival, but what I've really been impressed with since this disaster that's taken place is your really relentless energy and enthusiasm to fight through this. I know personally it's got to be just at times scary. This is your livelihood. This is your friends' livelihoods that you work with, and you've worked so hard to build it up. And I know we'll come back smarter, we'll come back stronger, but just keep up the fight. You're in such a difficult position as so many people are, but what you're doing supports so many businesses in this area, and people don't realize it. You're out there every day. Your team is amazing on the technology side. Thank goodness. Because these tourists are on their cell phones and on their apps and Facebook, and they're walking into these small businesses in these multi-county areas because of your work. And the business owner won't probably know it. They might see a change in traffic, but it's so critical. And again, you guys, 2 years in a row, Great Rivers did a superior social media campaign for the Criterium. They brought in KSDK Show Me St. Louis last year for a segment. They interviewed me down by the Indian Edwards statue. And so you've been a great assistance to Rotary as well. And then we turn around and give that money to great causes. So just as far as I'm concerned, you deserve a never-ending round of applause from us, and just keep up the great fight.
Good. Thank you, Brian. That's good. This is recording. Good. So can we replay that for the finance committee meeting? Just kidding. Yeah. It's good. So
absolutely. Like I said, they'd be foolish not to renew it.
Good. Well, thank you. Thank you all for the support.
And Brett, this is Denise Bonner. If we can help in any way with the newspaper, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. You do, absolutely. We work with Brittany Johnson quite a bit, and I think we do a weekly column when I can get it into you on time. So we appreciate that. And we just actually reached out to you guys for an ad for one of the banner pages on the Intelligencer and the Telegraph. So thank you. Yep.
Anything else? Okay, well, I want to thank you for all you do for the community. Seeing the video, you just don't realize how many people work together, what happens behind the scenes to make this great community, you know, and the people that are a part of it. And I appreciate all you do, listening to you talking and collaborating all, you know, just within our group with the people that you do. It's just amazing, and it makes my heart even bigger, and I love my community even more. I look at it now that we're all out walking a lot more, and I see things that I hadn't seen before because I'm not rushing by in my car. So I appreciate the fact that you are out there working diligently to continue the tourism and keep the community on the front lines, so that we're front and foremost in everybody's mind when there's a place to go. So with that being said, thank you so much. We appreciate you. I was hoping Katie was going to be on. I know Katie, and I know she's just an amazing woman.
She is.
Tell her I said hi.
I will. She's busy working with our sports scene right now, but good.
All right. Well, I just wanted to tell her I wanted to see her face, but I can go. I guess I could Zoom her. Huh?
Yes.
But anyway, I thank you very much. If nobody has anything else, let's see. Anybody have I got a little chat here. Great presentation. That's right, Gina. Keep up the good work. All right. Next week's meeting, John McDole.